Hello, Aries. Welcome to your mid-month reading for May. I'm Madeline, excited to read for you. So let's jump right in. Before you got here, and I was doing my thing, talking to my people, lighting my candles and such, a message came through for you, Aries, that was, take it easy. You don't need to rush. I know, I'm not speaking Aries right now, but, we're still in Taurus season, so hold off because there's more information yet to be gleaned. There is more data coming toward you that is going to let you know the sort of strategy or the sort of approach. So it's basically like, don't start running without knowing which direction you're trying to go into, because then you end up having to like maybe redirect or do new things, or just kind of scrap something that you've already started to do and then been like, oh, if I'd known that this was going to happen, I wouldn't have done that. Does that make sense? We'll figure it out. We're going to get into your cards. Let's talk about it, Aries. For the middle of the month in May, tuning into the truth of what wants to show up for Aries, how Aries themselves is showing up. And we always want to know the truth, Spirit, for Aries, Sun, Aries moon, Aries rising, Aries dominant people in the mid-month. What do you want them to know, Spirit, to help them orient or reorient to their highest good, their best opportunities, best plan of action? And that is a phrase that Spirit is using. Perfect. Okay, let's get into it. Whew, Spirit is talking. Okay. Hey. And I'll throw your cards up right here so you'll be able to see what I'm looking at, Aries. Look at that. There's more information coming. Wow. Okay, gorgeous reading. And you may have noticed me like pausing in deep reflection. I was saying, okay, Spirit is talking. I had already pulled all of your cards, all of the spread, as you can see. But I want to show you this because this jumped out of its own accord. And the phrase that Spirit used immediately was soul searching. So when it comes to data, what makes you feel like less of yourself? What makes you feel stagnant? What makes you feel stuck? Get rid of that. As in maybe substances or habits or even people that kind of drag you down, sap your energy. If any of you are, of an energy kind of vampire person, a person who leeches, look out for that. I don't see you having any particular problems with it. You are coming through as the King of Swords. You could come through as any one of the cards in this reading, but Spirit is showing you at the top of your game when it comes to the mind. How smart you are, how clear you are able to be, how well you're able to communicate and articulate your thoughts and desires. And I mean, when I see the King of Swords, I do think of a master strategist. So Spirit talking about there's more data to be had to help you get the best strategy. When it comes, you're going to be able to know it, act on it, integrate it, etc. So let's jump right up here to the heart of the matter in the spread. Two of Swords. So that's a tough place to be for the King of Swords because the King of Swords is, again, they're an expert, right? So they don't like to feel hung up. They don't like to feel like they don't know what they're doing. It's kind of an Aries energy, right? Let's have a little bit of a mindset shift that you are not like hung up or not going fast enough. There is more yet to be understood before you can uncross your swords and move forward. Again, more data. Spirit always knows exactly what they want to say. If you notice in the Two of Swords, she is sitting, of course, with her swords crossed and her blindfold on, and behind her, unseen, is a body of water. In tarot, the water represents our emotions, our unconscious, a reminder. This person is walking toward the water source, away from their finite few drops in these precious cups that used to nourish them, but now they have to go find something else. It is okay to be in between this thing and the next thing. That doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. It means you're figuring out what you're doing. You have a lot of skills, and you've come a long way already, Aries. So if you're asking yourself, like, oh my God, do I not even know what I'm doing? Am I never going to get there? Look at that long-term future card, the Four of Wands. You arriving home, you feeling celebrated, you feeling a sense of achievement. And Spirit is saying something really important, which is no matter how good your strategy is, if your heart is not connected to what you're doing, then you will run out of energy. So that would be a good Eight of Cups kind of hint where it's like, man, maybe I have been putting a lot into this, but it's not really coming from my heart. Perhaps it's coming from my ego in the sense of like, I think other people will like it if I do this or do it like this, as opposed to I feel so excited every day to do this thing. So drift gently away from things, people, situations, habits that make you feel like less of yourself, that make you feel depleted. Move toward things that remind you how powerful you are. The Nine of Wands, this person looks a little bit beat up, but they have collected the wand of every person that they've battled along the way. You should see the other guy. You have what it takes. I feel like that came up in your monthly May reading as well. So here's Spirit doubling down to say, you've got what it takes. So that's the current situation, Nine of Wands. Situation arising, situation coming up, the Chariot. Once you get the data, which in this case is what's in your heart, which doesn't sound like, data, but it is. In the High Priestess sense of the word, it's like, oh, I don't feel excited about this. That's why I'm not moving forward. Or I really want this thing over here, and I just haven't acknowledged that to myself because it was a little bit scary to acknowledge this big, deep, crazy thing that I want. But acknowledging the things that feel like you and feel like love and feel joyful, that helps you move toward, I'm just going to say it because this is how Spirit is saying it, move toward your destiny. No, none of us is meant to go after some shit that doesn't feel like a home, that doesn't feel great. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing it just to do it, that could be resulting in why you're feeling a little bit stuck, perhaps even a little bit cold, because a King of Swords is a very powerful card and a very powerful position to be in. And you're an Aries. The King of Swords can be a little bit airtight. You don't want to be airtight. You need to breathe. You're a fire sign. You need oxygen, right? So don't worry so much about things being perfect or airtight because that could also be holding some of you back. It's okay to be quote unquote messy. It's actually helpful to have your emotions involved, which can indeed bring about a little bit of messiness, but it's also the thing that brings us home. The place we're meant to be, the people we're meant to be with. This is joyful celebration, happy homecoming, and I'm hearing that in all kinds of different ways. But like looking at this Nine of Wands, the Chariot, you're on your way somewhere. You want something, and this is Spirit coming through to say, yes, you can still have this thing. But as powerful again as you are in a King of Swords position, we need you to engage your heart. You're a sign that is very much connected to your desire and your impulses. What do you feel jazzed about? What do you feel excited about? Take the wheel and pull in that direction. The Chariot, let me remind you, is about enlisting all sides of yourself. My hopes and my dreams and my skills, my white horse, and yes, my fears, my doubts, my insecurities, etc., my black horse. If I'm trying to only focus on the white horse, it's going to take me a lot longer to get where I'm trying to go. I'm letting this one just be unfed and unnurtured and left to the dogs. How am I going to get my chariot where I'm trying to go? Got to take off that blindfold and look at everything. And Spirit is saying you can accept everything and still know that you don't want all of that. There's a distinction there. You know what I mean? As opposed to pretending something isn't there or pushing it aside or trying to make it wrong. It's like, yeah, my insecurity can be in the room with me while I continue to move forward, as opposed to I'll move forward when I no longer feel insecure. Does that make sense? What are your thoughts? I want to make these quick, potent reads for y'all. So let me know. Is this hitting? Or is it bringing up questions, comments, strategies? Help your fellow Aries in the comments. Thanks for being here, Aries. I really hope this is helpful. And I would deeply appreciate your feedback using this new spread. Is this doing anything for you? Is this adding to your May reading? Is this making things clearer for you? Would love to know. I appreciate your time, Aries. I hope that these messages help you have a wonderful month. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next month. Bye, Aries.